Hey there, DIY with the IT guy here. Uh, got my 2010 Toyota Corolla LE here. I've got some brake stop lights here. Tail lights we're going to go ahead and get replaced here. So I figured I'd do a quick video on to show you guys how to replace these. They're fairly easy. I know a lot of shops like AutoZone, Advanced Autos, some of the other shops like O'Reilly, they'll replace these if they're easy to replace as a courtesy. But it also helps to learn how to be able to do these on your own. They're pretty simple, just a few clips and a bolt or two here. Just do it with real simple household tools. Alrighty, give me 1 second. We'll get you here in the back of the trunk and get you a bird's eye view of what we're going to be doing here today. Alrighty, so we're going to be learning this together. I've never done this particular car, but I have done numerous other cars throughout my DIY career, more like a hobby, but you can make a career out of it. So from what I'm seeing here, we got a bunch of these little tabs right here. They're just pull-out tabs, push tabs. They kind of look like this. They just have little feelers that kind of hold it in really well. This particular one has a nice little slot. You can stick a nice little tiny screwdriver like this, slide it in there and pop it out. I also have my trim plug puller tool thing. I'm not really sure the exact name of this tool, but this thing is so amazing. It does not, it helps keep you from breaking all these clips. Especially these ones, because I mean you could buy these, but why would you want to go buy them if you could just put it back? So I'm gonna go ahead and start by ripping all these out here. Use this tool here. Yeah, nicely that comes out, just comes out real nicely. Go back here, there's one over here. Pull him out. And I'm just kind of keeping all these together here because we'll have to put them all back when we're done, so our trim doesn't flop everywhere. There is one right here and one on the opposite side to pull this piece of trim out. Probably don't have to, but it's going to make our life a little bit easier by pulling this guy out. So I'm going to go ahead and use my smaller screwdriver, dig him in there a little bit, and he should come right out just like that. Get the other one. Come right out. All right. This should come up some sort of ease. I have to coax it a little bit. Come on. Yep, there we go. Get some plastic clips out of there. I know that makes a lot of noise and it's a little scary, but I promise you're not breaking anything or harming anything by pulling these out. These guys should just come right up that way. More. Come on. It's under the mat there. Oh, I'm hooked over here. Well, that's plenty enough for me to get around here. So, in lieu of readjusting the camera here, I'm just going to kind of leave him here while I wrestle this piece around here. Should be able to do what I need to do. So you just kind of pull this material back a little bit, kind of work it out of the way. And then this particular model, they make it really nice for you. So again, this is a 2010 Corolla, Toyota Corolla, and they kind of make the whole assembly accessible right here. Some cars, I'm not going to name any particular brands, but some cars require you to remove the entire brake light turn signal housing from the vehicle, and then you get to it on the back side of the housing. Not terrible. There's usually like a screw right here and right there, and there's some pop clips. You just pop it out, but this is even better, so I'll take this. So I'll look here. It's our furthest outside plug. I hope you can kind of see that. Let me bring you in a little bit closer. You can see. Get get you adjusted here. Come on. All right, so just have this guy right here. Get this to stay out of the way. Let's do it this way then. All right, so we just have this guy right here, right? We just actually give him a good twist. This whole assembly should come right out. Bulb and everything. Perfect. So just take the old bulb out gently. You don't want to tug on it too hard. Sometimes, like older cars, this plastic housing can be brittle from these incandescent bulbs because they create a lot of heat. Obviously, you know, if you're like me, born in the 90s, 2010 doesn't seem that old of a car, but this is a 13-year-old car in 2023. Sorry to make anybody to feel old, but yeah, you have to be careful with these plastics. You don't want to go start yanking on this bulb and break this whole housing here, then you're stuck with buying another piece of replacement that you don't want to do. So I'm just gonna politely work it out, and then it'll come out. Now, this is, it appears to be original factory bulb, but if you kind of look, probably can't see, but if you're ever curious what kind of bulb you are, or you have, and you don't want to use Google, I don't know why you wouldn't want to, but you'll have your bulb style, which is usually either a 2, 3, or 4 digit number. And this one in particular is a 7443. If you go to your local parts store, you could find bulb, and you'll say, I need a 7443 style turn signal bulb, and they'll say either clear or amber. In this particular case, we'll want clear, and they'll give you this bulb. So I have some replacements here, and I decided not to go incandescent. I decided to go LED. I'm not going to name the brand that I have here, even though it is on the actual bulb itself. They didn't even give me a spot to open this guy with. Let me grab a pair of screws. Actually, let's use my screwdriver here. There we go. Open that packaging. So I decided to go LED. So this is a kind of a interesting little LED bulb here. I've obviously cross-matched the numbers for this one. This one is a 7443 bulb, and the neat thing with this bulb is that the running lights are on the outside of this bulb, and the actual stoplight is at the top. So the side stays lit all the time. When you apply the brakes, the top bulb lights up. Pretty cool. So I'm just gonna go ahead and fit this guy right back in here. Obviously like that. Take him, and these have little tabs on them, so you want to try to get this thing to fit flush, and then it should just snap right back in just like that, and we're good. Basically, you repeat the process on the other side if you have to replace your bulb. If you're going with LED on one side, you should definitely go with LED on the other side. Most kits, if not all kits, come with 2 bulbs. Just replace them both. If you have incandescents and you think it's the original bulb that came with the car, more than likely the other side is right behind this side. Might as well just replace them. Save you a traffic ticket from having a burnout bulb on your car. And it's also a safety hazard. Somebody can't tell if you're stopping, may find yourself in a surprise accident. So, one other thing I do want to mention. This one right here is the turn signal bulb. Turn signal bulbs are tricky when it comes to replacing with LEDs. All right. Now, see my face here. LED turn signal bulbs with vehicles that don't come factory with LED turn signals, they require what's called a resistor. And you have to put those in line with the resistor, or in with the bulb. Because if you don't, what you end up basically getting is you'll have a turn signal that'll go beep, 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 really fast. It'll just sit there, flash, and look really silly. The resistor slows down the resistance of the signal and makes it flash at a right time. The reason why that happens is there's a module, basically a blinker module that comes with the car, and every time you turn the signal, or use your turn signal stock, that flasher basically comes on and it'll tell it, like, okay, here's my intervals. And basically there's a signal that bounces back and forth between the front and the rear of the car. That's why when you have a signal or you have a turn signal that's burnt out, it'll flash really fast, basically because there's no path back from the bulb. It just goes, instead of going back, forth, it just goes forth, 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 forth. Kind of a really simple way to explain how that happens and why that happens. So LEDs require a lot less power draw than incandescent bulbs. Therefore, when that happens, that signal goes on and off really fast and causes that back and forth to go much quicker. So you put that resistor to slow down. It's almost like a speed bump for electricity. It slows down that signal so you have a nice, slow, steady, timed blink. A little bit of an FYI there, just in case you happen to find yourself needing to replace a turn signal, just like I had to replace my brake lights, and you find yourself going, I don't know why that blinks so fast. And you'll even see it on your dash too. It'll just beep, 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 beep real fast. You're like, man, what's going on? I don't know. That's why. So, a little bit of a tidbit there. However, I am going to go ahead and do the other side, and then I'll catch back up with you here with the results. Alrighty, so we get both sides done here now. We're going to go ahead and check and make sure that these actually work. Definitely wanted to show you one thing. I think this might be a good indicator. You can see kind of how dark and hazy, almost kind of like smoke filled this guy is. Good tall tail indicator to let you know that that guy's bad. In my case, both of these were bad. Luckily I have a third brake light there up at the top. When I discovered that, at least I had some sort of indication that I was stopping, although technically not legal. Sometimes you can't help it. You don't know until you check. So it's always good to check these kind of things, especially if you do your own maintenance on your vehicles. You'll catch these things. Obviously, there's things you want to try to catch as soon as possible to avoid any kind of issues. But we're going to go ahead and check our brake lights now, make sure that they both work, verify that everything's working. So I'm going to first click on my running lights, and then I'm going to go ahead and hit the brakes and verify that they both come on. So here we go. Alrighty, here's my running lights. Should be able to see the brake lights even in the sun. Kind of hard to miss them. They do come on. They do tell us that, well, not tell us, but tell other people that we are stopping. So, do you have any other questions? Just let me know. They're working. Sorry about that. Have one of my favorite friendly neighbors decided to stop by and see what I was up to. Anywho, yeah. So if you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment. Appreciate it if you could like the video and subscribe if you like the video. More than welcome to leave any kind of suggestions for any kind of DIY projects you'd like me to see me do. We've got a pretty wide variety of skills that I could probably offer, and hopefully y'all learned something today, or you learned something from one of my future videos that I'll put up here on the channel. But we'll see you next time.